here, right? I go here. I'm gonna release. Kasumi. Let go.
Kasumi do. Kasumi.
Kasumi again. Kasumi again. Coming underneath.
Cross the
So here. And then unrelease. It's right there. Hey everyone. Today we're going to talk about the ōtsuchi. You've seen recently the dojo in Macedonia. They've been using the ōtsuchi in their training, and the ono, so the giant, the axe, ōtsuchi, the giant mallet or hammer. And I just wanted to touch on some drills you can do when you're wearing yoroi or when you're out of yoroi. Just basic movement, you can use this. This was used as it is now in modern time. It is a breaching tool. This was not usually used on the battlefield. Like people like to use it and say, oh, this was a battlefield weapon. No, it was used for breaching castles, castle doors. That's what they were for, okay? So here's a modern version, modern version sledgehammer like this, okay? Small relative in comparison, but the weight is comparable. This steel hammer here, it provides a lot more weight, and in terms of the original ōtsuchi, both of these are actually relatively small, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and set this down, okay? So modern SWAT teams, military, will use these to breach doors, okay, to make entry, okay? So this ōtsuchi here was a gift from my wife. I believe it was for Christmas a long time ago. And we were trying to find one larger, but this was the only one we could find. This one she found at online with a Japanese construction company. And they still use these when building old buildings in Japan. And she decided to order one, okay? So the ōtsuchi that you're used to seeing in old drawings, things like that in Japan, the shaft was normally like 6 feet long, so same as rakushakubo. So that thing would have stood about this tall. But also the heads of those hammers were also bigger than this. So like I said, this is more of a construction type, but the ones that you might see in drawings and things like that, old drawings, the heads were a lot larger, okay, a lot larger. And it was usually relative to the size. So larger the handle, larger the head of the hammer also, okay? This one, we're just gonna use this one for now, because this is what we have for our dojo here. And I'm just gonna go through some basic swings and things like that, okay? And you think about, in terms of kamae, the same way you could use kamae that you would do with, say, hambo or tachi, things like that, would be the same way you could use this, So you think about how, or rakushakubo, if we're here like this, our palms would be up on one side and one palm down would be just like this, This could be just like kategaburi, okay, from Hambojutsu, When you think about hasso won't be straight up, it'll be at an angle. This will be more like hasso with naginata. So it would be more here. I like to hold it up as high as I can, and this is here. I like to hold this here, Normally you wouldn't see, when samurai were in yoroi, they wouldn't usually go into daijodan. That was because of the limitations of the armor in terms of coming up. They would usually go to a high hasso instead, okay? You can see I'm wearing tanto, and I'm wearing, on this side I'm wearing katana, but I'm wearing it as you would wear a tachi, okay? So I have it upside down slung from my hip, okay? So I have to be aware of these things around my waist. A lot of times you see people doing stuff in our art and they're doing things where everything is like really close to the waist. No, realistically, it would not be that way. It would be away from the waist. Even when you're not wearing yoroi, your weapons would still be away from your waist, because you would have your katana, or tachi. You might have uchigatana, it's another word. You would have your tanto. So these things would be around your waist. You couldn't be able to do things that would just be like right here. It would have to be extended away from the body, okay? I teach this a lot when I do bow furigata. When I'm spinning the bow, a lot of people spin it like right here in front of their body. I spin it away from my body because I'm taking consideration of the weapons I already have around my waist, okay? So, we're gonna look at some basic strikes. Sorry, 1 second. All right. So if I go from hasso, we're gonna look at, say, shomenuchi or minuchi, okay? So coming straight down. Again, not gonna be in daijodan, we're gonna be in a high hasso, okay? This could also be used for attacking tofu, attacking the foot, or attacking someone's hands if they're holding uchikatana or tachi or katana. You're striking, you can be striking the hands, okay? So with this, you wanna use the weight of the mallet, of the hammer, to do the destruction. So in this case, if I'm in here at high hasso, I'm stepping in and letting it drop. Back up. Here, letting it drop. Back up. Okay, if I do it from the front, hasso, in, down. Back up, in, down. Back up. Notice I let my weight drop with it. So the weight of my body, weight of the yoroi, and the head of this hammer, dropping, okay? Letting it coming straight down. If I do it from this side, here, up, down. Here, up. Okay? All right? I want you to keep that in mind. Okay? Letting the weight drop. Okay? Like I said, this could be on someone's head, it could be on their hands, it could be on their foot. Okay? Keep this in mind. Okay? Next, we're going to look at a kasagiri type motion. Okay? So, I want to come down, down. So, I'm going to go here, here. Letting this weapon flow with the direction that it wants to go. I'm not going to stop the momentum. I want to use it to attack the person's body. So imagine another person in yoroi, and we're going to crush their armor. Okay. So in this case, okay, again, hasso. I'm going to let this come forward, down. Bring it back up, 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 down. Okay. Do it from the front. High. Whoosh. 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 Like so. Boom. And you're letting it hit. Boom as it comes. Boom as it comes. Okay? You see, I got to get my hands out away from my weapon. All the way out here. This is how it would really be on the battlefield. Okay? It would actually be this way on the battlefield. Okay? Next one we're going to look at is do. Okay, so ōtsuchi. Okay, I said earlier, I said kasagiri. You'd be like kasauchi, I guess. But, yeah, I don't know. All right. So from here, I'm gonna stand in more of a ichimunji, as you would see in both bojutsu. So I'm here, standing sideways, and I'm gonna step in, striking to do. This will be going to crush the do, to crush the ribs. So 1, 2. All right, so we're using the armor to crush them, to hit them. This will be, again, to do, either from the front, from the side, this could be from the back, okay? Any of those areas to crush their rib cage, okay? All right, let's move on. As we would say, gyaku kasagiri. Gyaku kasagiri, okay? So with this one, we're gonna do it. We're gonna come up, okay? So I'm gonna start again in ichimonji. All right, and I'm going to come up, 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 up. All right, if I do it from this side, from here, up, 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 up. All right, okay, so that's that one, okay? Next, we're going to look at, excuse me, it's coming undone in the back. Next, we're going to look at coming for suzu or kenteki, coming for the groin, okay? Again, if I'm here, I'm gonna let this come straight up and down, all right? We're gonna come straight up. Notice I go one hand on that, straight up, okay? The idea with this is you're attacking the groin, excuse me, you're attacking the groin first, in which they would then bend over, or the body would bend over this way, and then attack mid, attacking the head, okay? So attacking the groin, they bend over, and then attack the head at that point, okay? So, last one we're gonna look at is a ski. Let me just pull this out. Sorry. The next one we're gonna look at is a ski, okay? So a ski with this will be very different. You have two options. You have the head of the hammer, or you have the shaft. Either one works, okay? So, from here, I can go and if I'm going to avoid something, I want to avoid or use the hammer to deflect and ski. From there, I like to come up, striking with the shaft to knock the hands back, and then coming down again. Okay? So 1, 2, 3. Once more from the front. And here, I deflect, thrust, knock their hands up. This would be at their elbow or their forearms, and then come down on their head. Okay? So this is all the body weight dropping here. Okay? When you do this. Keep that in mind. Alright? What else? Oh, now if you're going to use the shaft, you're going to use the shaft to ski. Okay? So the shaft could be used the same way. I could step off slightly, use the shaft to deflect. If a person comes to cut down, I will go here, boom, right? Use the end of the shaft to knock it away. Lift this up, change hands, crush down, okay? Once more, from here, boom. This would be like their triceps or their elbows, deflecting this up. Boom, using the end to knock it away, up, down, okay? So I want you to think about that when you use this, okay? So using the ōtsuchi, there you go.